Before I say a word, well, I'm going to say many words. I want to thank Reverend Dolores Story for getting me here this morning. My car's not working. She lives in Beaumont, which is not far from where I live, so it was just so wonderful. We've made plans to do things and to get out a little bit more than we have before, so I feel like it's a wonderful beginning here. So I'll begin now. I bring greetings from, I'm not going to say what I usually say, Mujuriyaba, Australia. I just got back on Wednesday from one of the most incredible experiences I've had in going there and meeting so many wonderful people, so receptive. I did 2 workshops there, spoke several times, and the reception was wonderful. The people of Australia I found to be so warm and pleasant and caring, and just, I can't even explain to you. You know, I love my country, but there's a very definite consciousness difference when you go other places. I was one of the few, you know, there's not a lot of African Americans there, and you know, I really expected, and I was at sometimes, I guess, a curiosity, but the thing was that it really wasn't about that. It was about them wanting to know you. It wasn't a thing of looking at you and saying, oh, you know, that's weird. They were looking at you and they were coming up and they were saying things and wanting to get to know you and how you thought and what you felt and all of those things. It was a very, very, very receptive place. I have not felt well for the past year or so. I have been totally without energy. I have been where I couldn't really walk or do a lot of things because I would get terribly winded, and a tremendous weight gain and all sorts of things that I would go to the doctors and they didn't seem to know what to do. You know, they just looked at me like, you know, you're a malingerer and, you know, well, you're gaining weight, get out and exercise. I can barely breathe. What are you talking about? And so finally, when I got to Australia, I got there on Saturday, and I was very tired. It's a 14-hour trip, and it was a really tiring trip, very tiring trip, because people don't sleep, and I was in economy, which I will never do again. If I have to sell pop bottles to get more money, I will definitely do it, because I am not doing that again. And although I had wonderful seatmates and people, you know, it was a pleasant trip in that way, and I thought this is a foreboding to a very good trip. So I got in on Saturday and rested, and then Sunday had a very, very full schedule of running around and speaking and doing the different things. And by the time I got home to this gorgeous house that my friends live in, all I could do was just go to bed. I was just winded and tired, and it was the thought of going up a set of stairs was enough to just make me insane, to think I was going to have to lift my legs and go up and down these stairs. So the next morning I told my hostess, I said, I have to go to the doctors. I said, there's something wrong, and you know, and I'm going to tell you, I really felt like I was at my last moments. I said, have I gone down under to go under? I was really there. Went to the doctors, and she took one look at me and did a couple of little things, and she said, you're going directly into the hospital. Leave here, go to the hospital. I went to the hospital, they examined me and said, oh boy, you got here a really good time. They began to drain fluids. I had congestive heart failure and congestive lung failure. Now this was a thing this was progressive. This didn't happen just because I got there. This is something that had been happening. I had had my, thyroid removed a few years ago, and they never actually gave me the right medications. So what I was doing was throwing off every system of my body. I had planned to go to the doctors before I left here, and something happened, I didn't go, and I'm so glad I didn't. Because I would have gone and they would have said, well, there's really nothing, and then I wouldn't have gone to the doctors there. I know that all things work for good. I know that, you know, we talk about faith, and we need to live in a faith, knowing that all things, there's an answer to everything. that there is a way to solve everything. And you don't have to be a religious person to know that, because what you have to know is look around and see that everything always does come to some kind of good conclusion if you allow it to. That there is an answer to everything. So when I went in, they drained fluid, they changed my medication, and they wanted me really to stay a month for observation, but I didn't see where I was able to do that. However, when I got back, I said, why couldn't I have done that? I could have done it, you know, but we have all these things in our mind about what we have to do. I knew that I was in the right place at the right time. I knew that I'd been moved there, that I had to go 7,000 miles away in order to find the answer to what I had been begging for an answer for. Again, you make a request, and the request will be answered in some way. Our problem is we don't have faith in the fact that the answers can come in so many ways. The answers can come from places you have no thought of them coming from. But isn't that faith? Knowing that the answer is there and pursuing it no matter what. And when I say pursuing it, I don't mean in a questioning way or in a way that says, oh, I wonder if there's an answer. You simply say, I know there is, and then you go about your life. That is the true faith. It is not a belief in anything outside of yourself. It is a belief that, it's a funny thing, because it's a faith in something within yourself, which is who you are. The faith outside of yourself is in all of mankind. Knowing that somewhere in all of this, someone has the answer for you. And there this woman was, this little woman in this doctor's office, who they say is one of the best diagnosticians in the world. Here I am with her. I go in, who's the doctor who's in charge there, but a doctor who is an expert in the thyroid situation, who was there to look at me. It all works. It all works, and it really made me know that. I found life in Australia to be something that was a lot like what I really wanted my life to be. They've invited me to come back and to live for a couple of years, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. And, it was wonderful to be there and to be appreciated for the message that I had and for being able to just be me.
Amen.
Wow, is that a trip to be able to go in some place and you can just be who you are, and they are like, okay, what else do you have to say? I mean, it was really wonderful.